the sister of the New York City nanny on trial for allegedly stabbing to death the two children she cared for in 2012, testified that her sister sounded like she'd been overtaken by a demon at the time, multiple outlets report. Recalling the last phone conversation she had with Yoselin Ortega hours before the 55-year-old nanny allegedly killed 6-year-old Lulu Krim and 2-year-old Leo Krim, Milady Garcia, 64, said in court Monday that her younger sister sounded disconcertingly strange. It was not her, Garcia testified, New York Magazine reports. It was a demon. I know her voice. It was like I was talking to a demon. She had become something evil. After allegedly killing the children, Ortega stabbed herself in the neck in front of the children's mother, Marina Krim, and the victim's then 3-year-old sister, according to police. Opening statements began on March 2. Earlier this week, the prosecution rested its case against Ortega, who is pleading not guilty by reason of insanity for allegedly stabbing the children in the bathtub of their Upper West Side apartment on October 25, 2012. She is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. She faces life in prison if convicted. She remains held without bail. Want to keep up with the latest crime coverage? Click here to get breaking crime news, ongoing trial coverage and details of intriguing unsolved cases in the True Crime newsletter. During her testimony, Garcia said Ortega had suffered bouts of mental illness for years and that during their phone conversation, she felt her sister had descended into that state yet again, New York reports. Garcia also testified that, in the past, Ortega had said she had heard voices, The Wall Street Journal reports. During that last conversation, Garcia said she told her sister to seek help from a psychologist or a priest, New York reports. When prosecutors asked her why she didn't alert family members about her sister, she said other family members were working at the time. She then brought up the Krim children's parents, Kevin and Marina Krim, saying, "Why didn't those parents realize and take her out themselves? They were seeing it," New York reports. A father's anguish, it's the worst thing imaginable. On March 13, Kevin Krim took the stand, sharing his heartbreak upon learning that something bad had happened to his children. It's the worst thing imaginable. The New York Times reported. I was hoping this is just a nightmare and it wasn't. After learning his kids were dead, Krim asked doctors if he and his wife could see their bodies in an exam room, the Times reports. They were the wrong color. They didn't have any blood left in them, so they were bluish, he said. For more compelling true crime coverage, follow our crime magazine on Flipboard. But they had this perfect skin and their long eyelashes. They had this, like, sandy brown hair. You could see they tried really hard to wash the blood out, but it still had kind of an auburn tint to it that I remember to this day. He continued, saying, I got down on my knees and I said I'm sorry. I said I love you and kissed them and said goodbye. During her testimony in early March, Marina Krim likened the grisly scene she found in her bathroom to a horror movie, the Times reports. The children, the Times reports, were stacked on top of each other in the tub and covered in blood when their mother found them. During her testimony, an emotional Marina Krim shouted at Ortega, "You're evil," the Times reports. Prosecutors allege Ortega killed the children because resented Marina Krim. Calls to prosecutors and to Ortega's attorneys were not immediately returned.